Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will cover what it's like to work in a marketing agency versus an in-house marketing team. When following a career in marketing, a huge part of your decision making will be whether to work in an in-house marketing team or a marketing agency. And when you choose one over the other, it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll have to stick with that until the end of your career. But I think it's still very important to know the differences and make a conscious decision when you are applying for jobs or when you are about to accept an offer that you've received, for example. I briefly talked about the difference between working in an in-house marketing team versus a marketing agency in a previous video that was about a career in marketing in general, and you can see it right over here. And if you haven't watched that one yet, it's more about the basics of a career in marketing, so you might also want to check that video too, because I think it'll be really helpful if you're new to the channel. I'm lucky enough to have worked in both environments, so I'd like to think that I can make some general comparisons between the two, and I'm hoping that whatever I will cover in today's video will help you to decide which path is more suitable for you and which option is just a better fit for your personality and preferences. So without further ado, let's get started. I will start by talking about in-house marketing first, and what this simply means is the marketing efforts are done by the people who are hired and trained within a company. The marketing team members are employees of that company, and their single focus is to achieve the marketing goals of that company. This also means that the marketing team will be able to understand the brand identity firsthand, and they will be able to build the brand from ground up. Let's get to some characteristics of an in-house marketing work structure. One of the main differences is when you work in-house, you will know the ins and outs of that company, and your attention will be devoted to one single client, which is the company you are working within. You'll most probably work across a broad range of projects, but they will all be focused on one single sector only, which means that your experience will be very much specialized. Second point is that working in-house tends to have shorter work hours. And although this is a generalization, I could still argue the opposite, because it really depends on the company that you're working for. So your experience could be different in this sense. And the second part of this point is that the work tends to be more structured compared to an agency. Number 3 is quite important in my opinion, and that is when you're working in the marketing department of a company, your role will actually be a part of the bigger organizational structure, and you will likely be exposed to where your role sits within the bigger business structure and the hierarchy within the company. Moreover, you will likely work alongside and collaborate with other departments such as sales, business development, operations, product development, strategy, and design. This is a feature that I really love personally, because you get to have a greater awareness of how a business functions from top to bottom, and you are involved in how everything functions all together. Finally, you might encounter a greater sense of ownership in an in-house marketing team. And the reason for this is you can carry out a campaign from start to end, which can be very rewarding. So if you're the type of person who likes to start a project, grow that project, and see the end, including the analysis of success and seeing the impact on the overall business, then an in-house marketing role might be a better fit for you. On the contrary, in an agency setting, you likely deliver services for a specific part of the overall marketing goal, so there's a greater chance that you might not be able to see the bigger impact on the business, but rather just the success of that specific service that you have delivered. So that's a recap of the in-house marketing role, and let's move on to what it's like to work in a marketing agency. I would define a marketing agency as a team of marketing professionals who offer their expertise and services to other companies who are seeking help with their marketing efforts. So with that said, in an agency, your work really depends on the requests of that agency's clients, and you'll be expected to create and implement solutions and deliver within their deadlines. Primary thing I want to mention about working in a marketing agency is that your experience will be very, very diverse. You'll have the chance to work with multiple clients across different industries, and you'll be exposed to different budgets and different campaigns. And this is a very valuable experience, because every project is a new learning that comes with its own features and challenges. On the flip side though, when you work with multiple clients and industries, you might become a jack of all trades but master of none. So what this means is that you'll be gaining experience in all of these sectors, but you'll be dipping in and out of them and not really building a specialization in any of these sectors. The reason why I want to mention this is because this can potentially become a risk if you ever want to switch to an in-house marketing team, because when you do, those companies are likely going to ask you to have X amount of years experience in their specific industry, and you will have some knowledge, but you won't really have that specialization that they might be requiring. Number 2 is about working with different clients. In an agency, you're working very closely with your clients and spending most of your time, if not all. And when your energy matches with your clients, you might really enjoy your experience, but sometimes you just have to deal with very difficult clients, and I mean very difficult clients. And when you're stuck with that project, your life can become a nightmare and you might not enjoy that project at all. Point 4 is that agencies tend to have better marketing tools in place because their reason of existence is basically to deliver top quality marketing services and to make sure that their clients are happy. Therefore, they are willing to spend more money on software and tools as it benefits the whole company and potentially delivers better results for the clients, so everyone's happier. Point 5 is something that I agree with and don't like. It's unlikely that you'll have a say over the campaign, as the project is never really yours. So to me, this is like taking your child to school every single day and helping them do their homework, but then not seeing their graduation. Depending on the deadlines imposed, the work hours tend to be longer within agencies. I worked with 3 different agencies from different countries and find that they're all very fast-paced and the pressure is much higher in agencies. You might find this very exciting or very tiring. It totally depends on your preference and personality. Finally, in an agency, I'd say you have to accept quick changes and make sure you're okay with unpredictability, because the client always makes the call and not you. So you might encounter lots of changes and unexpected reactions too. So now that I've covered what it's like to work in an in-house marketing team versus a marketing agency, let's move on to how you can decide which one is a better fit for you. What's important to note is that I can only point out the futures, but not really say which one is a benefit or a disadvantage, because it really depends on your personality and preference. So I might be the type of person who likes to focus on one single project only at a time and likes to specialize in one specific industry, but you might like to have diverse experience from all types of industries. So I won't be able to really say one is better than the other, because it really isn't. So my recommendation would be to understand the differences really well so that you can sit down and evaluate which one fits your personality, your career goals, your lifestyle, and preferences. Final thing I want to touch base about is the transition between an in-house marketing role and an agency role. Is this possible at all? Of course it is. However, what's important about this is that if you're in the beginning of your marketing career, the transition between the two sides is relatively easier. So if you want to experience both, you can most certainly do so. The thing I want to mention here is that once your career is established, it is somewhat more difficult to switch between the two. The reason for this is, imagine that you've worked in an agency for 5 years and you have gained experience in 5 different industries, and now you decided to move to an in-house marketing team that is specifically focused on the software industry. If they are seeking to fill in a senior position, then they will likely look for someone who has a lot of experience, who has a specialization in the software industry, rather than someone who has experience across diverse industries. It does not mean that this is definitely the scenario that you will encounter, but it's likely, so just keep that in mind. Having said all of this, I'd love to know which side of the spectrum you find closer to yourself. Let me know by sharing in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going through the comments. As always, thank you for being here and watching till the end, which I hope you did. I hope you enjoyed the video and hope that you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, you can do so after watching this video, and you can also turn on the notifications so that you'll be informed when there's a new video up on the channel. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Take care.